everybody. Welcome back live and on the air. It's Wednesday night edition of Inside the Headset, our last and final show. Our sponsor is John Jones Real Estate. We're going to roll down to Alabama, down to Albertville High School. Going to talk to the head coach of the Albertville Aggies, head coach Bert Browne. How you doing tonight, Coach?
Man, I'm good. How about yourself?
I'm doing great. Well, you're sitting at 0-9. You did go play Bob Jones 42-7, and you played James Clemens 42-6. The big thing I see is you are putting points on the board, whereas probably a year ago those were both shutouts. So it's not getting any better, but you're starting to score. And talk to us a little bit about what happened in those games where you think the Albertville Aggies are still growing up.
Well, with the Bob Jones game, we were ahead 7-6 at the half, which they were enormous. Maybe the biggest high school football team I've ever seen, and they were 6'7", 320 at tackle.
Wow.
And I think the other one was 6'4", probably 275, and their guards were 285, 300. So, we were far from that big. Big isn't in our vocabulary, and so we battled. That was 2 weeks ago. We just battled, and our kids fought hard, and they lined up in the second half and ran the ball at us out of the gate, scored, and then got back into the spread, throwing it around, and helped us out some doing that, and hit a couple long runs on us and a touchdown pass, and again, we are so young that, they kind of got us. And then last week we played very good early, and played good the whole game. We just, we're just up against it right now with our youth and our lack of size. And,
but you're playing two quarters. I mean, you're telling me now you're getting 24 minutes into the game. So you're starting to get two quarters put together. Now it's just you got to stick the other half with it.
Yeah, well, our depth kills us.
Yeah,
we're not really a 7A high school, and we're playing 7A, and they've got 11 guys under the 10 over there, and we've got about 5. We got 6 guys playing constantly, and so, there's things, and like I say, I inherited a football program that, last year we had 8 seniors and 8 juniors, and this year we got 8 seniors. So
you held on to the ones you had. You held on to the ones you had, so there's something there.
Yeah, and right, and so, but next year we're going to probably have 27 seniors and 35 sophomores, and probably 45 freshmen. So it's one of those deals. We're just trying to build it, and right now we're just up against it with the football teams that we're playing. But now our kids play extremely hard and they never quit. And, I'm very proud of that. And so, we are getting better every week. We are definitely better this year at this time than we were last year.
Yes.
So, last year the Bob Jones and James Clemens, it wasn't even close to a game. They manhandled us this year. I know the score really didn't indicate it, but we played them much better, and so I was excited about that.
Well, and Coach McDaniel just talked about that. And I know Coach McDaniel well, being a former flying Hind Eagle. But he was just talking about that. He really, if he loses, as long as that's our best team and that's our best effort, and we gave everything we got, then if we get out manhandled, I can go home and go to bed at night and live good. But if we go out there, go ahead, take it, Coach.
Yeah, I mean, he's exactly right, and that's why I'm so proud of our guys, because of the way that they play and their spirit that they have. And I've said this many times. I think the best compliment you can pay to a football coach is your kids just play so hard. And you've got to get kids. I know I've had people say Billy Brewer used to do that at Ole Miss. His kids were always ready and they always played hard. And I think it's it's a great compliment for me when other coaches always say that to me. Hey, coach, your kids play so hard, and that makes me proud.
Well, and that's all you can ask from them. I mean, you can't just take talent and go in the back room and just stick it on a kid and say now you're a 4-2 or you're a 4-3, and
Right.
you can't go do that. So you have to convince them to play above their level, of course, and play above their ability, but at the same time, also learning to play control and controlling penalties. I mean, there's so many
Yeah.
things that you're probably working on that they don't realize. I mean, just learn to manage the game, even though we may
Yeah.
lose or whatever, but manage the game appropriately. Play good sportsmanlike.
Right. And last week, and we do this because we are so young. Right out of the gate, 2 weeks in a row, we've got ourselves for the first series of the game, 1st and 15. We fought start, and now we're our first drive, we're behind the 8 ball. So we've got to stop doing that to ourselves, and so that's part of growing up and learning and that kind of thing. But been very proud of the fight that our kids have.
Well, we did the Blackman Rockville game the other night, and Matt over at Blackman had a bunch of holds that negated the runs and brought the ball back, and told him on his show, I mean, you get the playoffs, dude. You can't be doing that because they'll just be laughing at you, because you're just putting yourself.
Yeah.
Now you're 2nd and 20 or like you said, and Coach McDaniel just said it. I don't have a play for 2nd and 20. What do you want to run?
Yeah.
I mean, it sounds funny, but it's according to what you got on that side of the ball. I mean, Guthrie has lost a lot over at Rockville, and he's down to one-dimensional, and he's got to play Siegel, and he's got to have that win. And Coffee County can mess it up, but they got to beat Blackman. So I mean, nothing's changed here in Region 3 6A, Coach.
Yeah, and we've got we're playing Gunnersville.
I saw
Friday
that
night, which is the oldest rivalry in the state of Alabama, and I think somebody said it's the second oldest rivalry in the country.
Wow.
And but they're 5A, and I had the coaches did a little thing. They took every team in our region and averaged the offensive line. They all averaged the left tackle, the left guard, the center. That for every position. I think that daggone the left tackles in our region were 6'4", 275. The left guards were 6'3". I'm wanting to say 315.
Wow.
And the centers were around 270. And the right guards were 6'4", 275, and the right tackle was 6'4", 290, I think, something like that. And so then we took Gunnersville underneath that and put their starting offensive line, and I think the left tackles in our league are 5 inches taller than their left tackle and outweigh them by 40 pounds, and the left guards in our league are 3 inches taller and outweigh them, their left guard, by 85 pounds. So, I'm hoping that our kids, we put that together. I've put it all over the locker room. I said, now, it's a very good football team we're playing, but this isn't 7A football we're playing. These guys are 5A, and they are very good. Don't get me wrong. They got 2 Division I backs. They've both committed Division I, and they can run and they can go. But we're not seeing a guard that's 325.
That's going to be making the hole for him to go. So you should be able to get back there.
Right.
You should be able to get back there.
We hope so. Yeah.
Well, Coach, I can't thank you enough for being on Inside the Headset. It's always a pleasure to talk with you every week. This is our last show, but hopefully when you come up this way, please give me a call or something. Love to get with you. And
heck yeah, man.
And if
I appreciate it.
Well, and and especially if we get into the playoffs, we'd love to have you and have you come join us on the air, and as we continue to broadcast and whatnot. And I never know where you're going to be, but just give me a whistle, and good luck Friday night against that one of the oldest rivalries in the country, and that's against Guntersville.
Yes, sir. Well, thank you, Stork, and thanks for what you do for athletics.
All righty, take care, Coach. See you. Bye.
You too.